Imagine the world's toughest action hero reduced to tears by a cinematic disaster. That's the shocking truth behind Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest letdown. Picture this. Back in the era when Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were locked in an epic battle for supremacy at the ticket counter, aiming to be crowned the ultimate action icon, I was firmly in the Schwarzenegger camp. His films weren't just thrilling, they had a playful edge that made them irresistibly entertaining. As a child, I always felt Stallone came across as overly intense and self-serious, while the legendary Austrian Oak embraced the absurdity of his over-the-top exploits with a wink and a nod. His iconic role as the Terminator even shaped his real-life portrayals, where characters stayed cool-headed, focused on demolishing threats without unnecessary drama. But even giants have vulnerabilities, and one of Arnie's major setbacks brought him to the brink of emotional collapse. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this flop a sign that the golden age of cheesy action flicks was fading? Or did Hollywood mishandle a gem? Launched in June 1993, Last Action Hero was poised to solidify Schwarzenegger's reign over his rival. Throughout the 1980s, they traded punches in the marketplace. Stallone racked up successes with his Rambo and Rocky series, while Schwarzenegger rode the wave of the Terminator into hits like Commando, Predator, and even a comedic detour in Twins, a surprising box office triumph that proved action stars could make audiences laugh. By the early 1990s, Schwarzenegger had clinched his spot as Hollywood's top action draw, with blockbusters like Total Recall and Terminator 2: Judgment Day, while Stallone stumbled in flops like Oscar and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yet Stallone wasn't done. He rebounded in 1993 with Cliffhanger and Demolition Man. Schwarzenegger, meanwhile, was riding high, and Last Action Hero boasted a stellar team. Director John McTiernan, known for Predator and Die Hard, and screenwriter Shane Black, famous for Lethal Weapon and The Last Boy Scout. Regrettably, the attempt at a satirical parody turned into one of the decade's most infamous financial disasters. And this is the part most people miss. The film's plot was actually a clever meta-adventure that could have redefined action comedies. In Last Action Hero, Schwarzenegger pokes fun at his own image by starring as Jack Slater, the rebellious detective central to the invented Jack Slater movie series. His avid admirer is 10-year-old Danny Madigan, played by Austin O'Brien, a boy from a fractured family who finds solace in Slater's exaggerated escapades. Excited for the new installment, Danny gets an unexpected thrill when the theater usher, Robert Prosky, hands him a magical ticket that literally pulls him into the film. Once inside Slater's universe, Danny joins his idol on a mission to take down crime lord Tony Vivaldi, Anthony Quinn, and his deadly enforcer, Mr. Benedict, Charles Dance, a ruthless assassin sporting a stylish glass eye for each occasion. As expected, the chaos crosses into the real world when the ticket lands in Benedict's grasp. Meanwhile, Jack grapples with the mind-bending discovery that he's just a fictional creation, while Benedict plots a global takeover using a horde of movie villains, including the Ripper, Tom Noonan, who previously slew Slater's child in an earlier flick. With Schwarzenegger at his most unstoppable after Terminator 2, Last Action Hero seemed destined for blockbuster glory. His passion for the project influenced its development in intriguing ways. But reality hit hard. Script issues arose early as Shane Black, David Arnott, and multiple rewriters softened a more mature script. The budget swelled due to Schwarzenegger's $15 million salary, and after poor test audiences prompted a rushed reshoot of the climax, Sony invested heavily in a flashy promotional blitz, even branding a NASA spacecraft with the movie's logo. Still, these production hurdles weren't the fatal blow. Here's the twist that sparks debate. Did lousy timing doom the film, or was it simply ahead of its time in satirizing Hollywood excess? Despite all that, Last Action Hero might have triumphed if not for its June 1993 release, clashing head-on with Jurassic Park. Even a superstar like Schwarzenegger couldn't compete with dinosaurs. And Steven Spielberg's innovative monster epic swept the charts, relegating Last Action Hero to obscurity. In the end, it grossed $137 million worldwide against an $85 million production cost, But the marketing splurge left Sony in the red. A classic case of a box office flop, where earnings don't cover expenses, often leading studios to rethink future projects. This marked Schwarzenegger's first significant career stumble, and he internalized it deeply. In the Netflix docudrama Arnold, he shared, "I can't express how devastated I was." It wounds you emotionally. You feel mortified. I avoided everyone for a week, but you persist. And my mother-in-law always reminded me, let's just keep going. It's profound advice. Director James Cameron, who had helmed 2 Terminator films with him, remembered reaching out. He was sobbing in bed. He viewed it as a massive hit to his reputation. It rattled him profoundly. I asked, "What's your next move?" He replied, "I'm going to isolate myself." That's the sole instance I've seen him so downcast. Schwarzenegger rebounded swiftly in 1994 with Cameron's True Lies. Despite Last Action Hero's hefty price tag, surpassing $100 million, a budget milestone at the time, the gamble on True Lies paid dividends financially. Nevertheless, many felt Last Action Hero heralded the decline of Schwarzenegger's peak Hollywood era and the era of bombastic, guns-blazing spectacles it mocked. To beginners diving into film history, this serves as a reminder that even legends face setbacks, teaching lessons in resilience and adaptation in the unpredictable world of entertainment. Controversially, some argue Schwarzenegger's emotional response was overblown for a movie flop. After all, actors are human. What should personal branding weigh so heavily on a single film's performance? What do you think? Does this failure truly signal the end of an action movie golden age, or was it just a minor hiccup in Arnie's unstoppable journey? Share your thoughts in the comments. Agree, disagree, or offer your own take on Hollywood's highs and lows.